On behalf of the family, we had a chance to speak with Chief Porter just now. And as you already know, the Office of the Inspector General is handling this investigation. The things that we do know is that Dyshan should still be here. And you saw some videos that were released, and they're up to interpretation. And so you can't rush to judgment based on those videos, and everybody's going to interpret those videos to say what they wanted to say. So we have to wait for the full investigation to take place, and that way we can go from there. What we do know is that the officers that were involved are not on the streets, and that's what we want for right now. And second thing is that when you look at the videos that they released, there are a lot of possible manipulations here and there, and so we want to make sure we get the actual videos and not videos that people just self-serving, and so that's very important. What's more important is that this family is applauded for how they managed this crisis and how they've addressed this civilly and cooperatively, and they want answers. That's why one of the most important part of the meeting today was that the chief understands that we're still in the city of Bridgeport. This is still our city. The family lives here. This is their city. So they have a right to protest without feeling like they're on an investigation. They have the right to protest without having guns pointed at them. And so we made that very clear to the chief that in the days coming, we're going to have prayer vigils and protests, and we don't want to feel like we're under siege. And he made it quite clear that all we have to do is communicate with them. They'll have the proper protocols in place, and so that we can be safe. And so if we see cops on the perimeters, it's so that the family and the protesters can feel safe from outside interference. And so he made that very clear as well, and we appreciate that. So their office didn't have much to do in terms of answers. That's the Inspector General's office. And we will be trying to meet with them as well, and so we can get the answers. But we're all going to have some protests, and we're all going to voice our dissension to what happened here. And we're assured that we can be safe in doing so. Now, I have to say this because it's very important. There's a fleeing felon rule, and it gives the police officers an opportunity to use deadly force or physical force if they were fleeing from some type of felony. I didn't see that here. And so I don't want to hear about the fact that he was running and that there was possibly a gun someplace. This is what you get a warrant for, and you do your investigation, and then you arrest people accordingly. You don't become the judge, jury, and executioner because in your mind you feel that something went wrong. I don't care if you see somebody running down the street with a gun. They could have a license for a gun, whatever. If there's no felony that just took place that you can articulate, then you let them run. Maybe check the cameras, and then you do what you got to do and get a warrant. You don't go chasing people and shoot them down on the streets.
Thank you.
That's not the way it happens. And so we know that that's not right. So the people in this department, their position is they're not justifying the shooting, they're leaving it up to the Inspector General's office. So we know that shouldn't have happened. And we're outraged by that. If he was running, he could be in fear of something else happening to him. And then you kill him when he's running from what could have been a threat that he perceived. We don't know. It's just too early to know. And we just know that there's protocols in place, and not to make it a racial issue, but you watch these tapes sometimes where other people have guns, AR in their hands, and they find a way to talk them down. They find a way to talk them down. Please, sir, put that down. We don't have to hurt you, et cetera, et cetera. But in our communities, deadly force is used too quickly and too often. And so these are things that we have to really, be concerned about. The fact of the matter is that if in fact somebody's running from somewhere,
come on, man,
then you let them run and get to where they have to get to. Exactly. I don't think that there was no doubt here that they could have questioned anybody around and say, who was that guy? The fact that the police were this close to him, they have him on body cam. You see the body cam now. So they know him. It's daylight. They could have easily looked at that and said, okay, the guy who ran from us was Dyshan. Let's go find him and go see what's going on. And if the most you're going to get out of this was a gun possession charge, well, at least we still have him here. Get the gun possession charge. So how's that protocol? Is it going to be protocol to chase somebody down and kill him? Let him go. Let him go. If one of you take off right now with a gun, all right, cool. Such and such went down the street with a gun. We'll go to his house later. And you still have life. It's preservation of life. You can't tell me that if this was to be done all over again, that they'll do it the same way. If they can say that, then I can respect that. But I don't think any officers in this building will say, if they can do this all over again, they'll do it exactly that way. We don't have directs yet.
They
from
told
what we understand,
me
he was shot in the back.
up here. In the back. That's what the detectives told me.
So
At the hospital.
Yeah, Brother Leonard's saying at the hospital, saying it was in the back left. But from the video, I can see there was no face-to-face confrontation between him and the cops. That's for sure. But this family, has gone through a lot. Again, he came in on his truck. He was working. He was a pallbearer at his best friend's funeral, who died of natural cause of diabetes or some illness. Nothing violent. Brother Hassan is a friend of mine who was the person who officiated that. So, this is a Shakespearean tragedy. You come here for a funeral of your best friend and you die the same day. I mean, you can't make this up. And so in all things being equal, that shouldn't have happened that way. And again, if they're going to protect and serve, he could have had mental illness, anything. When people are running away from you, you let them go. You call it in, you set up perimeters, you do what you got to do. None of those decisions should include, oh, you're running away, I'm going to kill you today.
My brother was not like that. He wasn't that person. He changed his life.
Yes, he did.
He was driving trailer tractors.
Yes, he did.
He was the best father I've ever seen anyone in my family be. He was a good guy. And he did not deserve this to happen to him the way it did. And I wish he was still here, because y'all would see how he is the type of person. He's a gentle person. He's not a troublemaker. He's not like that. Even from when he was little, he was so quiet. We didn't know where he was, and we didn't even know if he was in the room. He was so quiet and laid back, And this is just unfortunate that somebody would take the law into their own hands. I see, from what I know, from him getting shot in the back. They took a life that should be still living here and walking, taking care of his children. Now they're going to be lost without their father, who took good care of them. This is sick. This needs to stop. And the city of Bridgeport is accountable for their officers, and they're going to have to set another protocol for their behaviors and action. This is ridiculous, and I'm not standing for it. We're going to fight for this. Okay.
Justice is going to be what they did to me. I shot a police officer back in 2004. They gave me 27 years. I was 18 when I did that. I did 21 years. I came home February 14th. They made me serve my time. Justice is making him pay like they made me pay. That's justice. I had a month and a half with my brother. Yes. I had a month and a half with my brother. I asked him, just be home when I get home. And he was here when I got home. And they just killed my brother like that. I can't stand it. I'm gonna sit him out right. That's why God allowed me to come home when I came home. Because he knew this was gonna happen. And there was gonna be no one other strong enough to send my brother out right.
Because I want to know what he was saying to us. Because he could tell you guys something and tell us something different. But I also wanted to know, I have questions for him that you guys he wouldn't answer for you, but he could answer for us with our attorney in front. So that's why I changed my mind to go in to see what.
And common courtesy.
I asked for all of the police that were on the scene for every single body cam. Not just the officers were chasing him or whatever. I want all of the evidence, everything detailed down to the beginning to the end. And even afterwards, because there are some things that happened that shouldn't have happened there too.
So we got to understand, one of the dynamics of the way it works in Connecticut now is that if there was a police-involved shooting at one point, it would always be the state police that comes in and does the investigation. Now we have the Office of the Inspector General, they do that.